The AFC is it's obviously the more superior conference despite the Eagles' dominance. They have the best quarterback play in the AFC. They also have some of the better coaching in that conference. And I do believe they've got a few teams with a chance to go from worst to first. And it don't get any more worse than the team that is number 5 on my top 5 NFL teams. In the AFC,
number 5.
That's the number right there. I was looking for the number. Thank you. It's the Tennessee Titans. They had the number 1 overall pick for a reason. That was a bad roster last year, but it more so was because they had very, very poor quarterback play. Brian Callahan learned his lesson. Did you know that Cam Ward is not even named the starting quarterback for the Titans, though he's presumed to be so?
Just earning it day in and day out.
He's going in there at 5 a.m. every day, and he is earning his keep in that locker room. He is leading a bunch that is believing in him day after day more than they did before. Last year, they just granted Will Levis the starting job, and he absolutely dribbled down his leg, and it was bad. And I feel bad for him right now because obviously he's going to need a new home or he's going to be sitting on the bench watching Cam Ward play all year long. But either way, this is a team that is on the way up. Last year, what were they, a 3-4 win team? They have a lot of the same guys coming back, but the quarterback is the most important position in the NFL. Am I saying they're a shoo-in to make the playoffs? Absolutely not. But they're in the AFC South. They can be better than the Jaguars. They can obviously be better than the Colts, who don't even know who their quarterback is going to be, as we're now learning that Anthony Richardson is likely not going to be there for training camp as well with a new injury again.
I mean, I brought him up unintentionally at the beginning of the segment, but you could be looking at a Jaden Daniels level of impact in Tennessee with Cam Ward.
Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans, as they have improved that offensive line, as they have improved their run game, and now they get the improvement to the number 1 position that you need most at quarterback. And I'm saying not the most likely team to replace the Steelers as a postseason team, but they're number 5 on my top 5 Tuesday list.
Number 4.
Number 4 is the New York Jets. The Jets.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this.
They got an upgrade at quarterback, C-Cat. Justin Fields over Aaron Rodgers every day of the week at their stages in their career right now. And it's not because I'm saying Fields is more cerebral or Fields, is going to be able to push the ball down the field at a higher rate, more accurate, any of those things. No. Fields, at the very least, makes the defense think about a whole nother facet of your offense, and that's, okay, we have to have one more guy in the run fit. And when you got Breece Hall, Braylon Allen behind there, you got a new offensive coordinator that comes from the Lions who's used to playing a little smash and dash style. I like what Tanner's going to be able to do as the OC. I like the vibes that Aaron Glenn is bringing to the Jets. Most importantly, like the Titans, that division could be had. Not the crown, but I can easily see the Jets being number 2 in the AFC East over the Dolphins, who are clearly tanking this year on accident. I know Mike McDaniel wants to win games, but when your best players, Jalen Ramsey on the trading block, Tyreek Hill on the trading block, you lose Teron Armstead, like when all of your best players from last year aren't coming back and you weren't even that good the year before, not feeling it. The Jets, they have a defense that can be elite, that is young and only getting better, now led by Aaron Glenn. You have a quarterback who's playing for his career in Justin Fields, who was 4-2 last year with the Steelers. And you also have a breath of new fresh air now that Aaron Rodgers has left the building. Give me the Jets as the number 4 AFC team that was not a playoff team that could make it next year.
You thought it was crazy when the Giants made the playoffs with Daniel Jones and then won a freaking playoff game on the road. Do you imagine the topsy-turvy feeling if the Jets make the playoffs next year?
It would be insane, and I'm not saying it's most likely. It's the 4th most likely of the teams that will replace the Steelers in the AFC postseason.
Number 3.
Number 3 on this Top 5 Tuesday of AFC teams to make the playoffs, another quarterback improvement. Going from bottom barrel to Pro Bowler, how about the Raiders with Geno Smith? Here's what I'll say.
We're using that word Pro Bowler when it's convenient.
Of course. Of course I am. But what I will say is Geno Smith, if you look at like all of the advanced metrics, the EPA, all the little cutesy, nerdy stuff, Geno is generally at the top of the league over the past few years. On top of that, the Raiders did not come here to play. They went out and add who is likely going to be the biggest impact rookie outside of Cam Ward in the draft. Well, I guess Travis Hunter too. In Ashton Genty in that backfield. They're going to lean on their run game. They have a great defensive line. They signed their D-end in Max Crosby, whereas the Steelers are still at odds with TJ Watt. And also on top of that, Pete Carroll is a Super Bowl champion coach. Pete Carroll is a guy who has been there, done that. Tom Brady did not step into that building to play around and have losing seasons or 6-7 win seasons. They want to make the postseason this year. They've made that clear, and I believe they have a chance. That's all I'm saying.
You know, with that coaching change, they're going from Antonio Pierce, right?
Yeah.
He's a big players coach. I mean, obviously, he was great with the Giants, and he spoke the language of the locker room. If there's one way to mend that fence with any player in that locker room who are sad that there's no more Antonio Pierce, it's a guy like Pete Carroll.
Lovable Pete.
That you cannot dispute his track record and his general overall presence wherever around him.
The Raiders' biggest issue is that division. But I'm going to say this here once, and I'll move on. I think the Broncos can be had. This ain't about the Broncos, but I think the Broncos can be had. I think they can leap them in the AFC West standings. That's their route. They have to be obvious. You can't be fourth place in the AFC West and get it done. You got to leap either the Chargers or Broncos, and I think we see a regression year from Bo Nix. Top 5 AFC teams that didn't make the postseason last year that have a shot in 2025. That was the Raiders at 3.
Number 2.
How about the Jacksonville Jaguars? It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but again, we're talking about the AFC South. They could mess around and win it. They got a guy in Travis Hunter who plays both ways. He's an improvement at wide receiver and D-back. Those are 2 of the top 5 valued positions in the NFL. Liam Cohen comes over from the Buccaneers, and he's supposed to help you improve the quarterback position. He's supposed to get something out of the former number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. The Jaguars are who they were, right? Trevor Lawrence has shown us enough for me to believe that there's also a good chance that they just absolutely flail out. But the Jags feel like, to me, a boom or bust team. Like, if they won 11 games, I wouldn't be that shocked. If they won 3 games again, I'd be like, well, them's is the Jags. New coach, new GM, a new feel in Jacksonville, and Travis Hunter is fresh off a Heisman campaign. Why can't they get a big surge?
Pro Football Focus has Trevor Lawrence 16th among starting quarterbacks heading into the 2025 season. He's got to be better than that in order for them to make the playoffs.
He will have to be.
If the Jaguars don't threaten the playoffs this year, you have to look at that position. I'm tired of giving him chance after chance after chance.
What are you going to do? Look at the position and say, oh, wait, well, let me see his contract too. Oh, we're stuck with him. We're already looking at the position. You're just already bought in. It's not Liam Cohen's fault. He's got to fix it.
We see how quarterback needy. You think the Steelers wouldn't try to take on that money for a guy like them if Aaron Rodgers does not work out this year?
Well, speaking of the Steelers.
Number 1.
And also, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't work out this year, when Aaron Rodgers doesn't work out this year, that's the whole point of this.
Even if he does work out this year.
He's got to go. He's done. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the curtain call for Rodgers. The number 1 AFC team that didn't make the playoffs last year that will likely make it this year or has the best chance to do so has got to be the Cincinnati Bengals. They do. I mean, they were on the outside looking in, 1 game away from doing it. They are in the same division as the Steelers. They benefit most from the Steelers having a downgrade overall. And on top of that, though I still think it's very likely they don't, I still think one of these other AFC teams can jump them. Like, they've been there. They've done that. They're going to have to find a way to get Trey Hendrickson back in that building, whether that means paying him or being very persuasive. Because it doesn't seem like the Bengals like paying people these days. But the Bengals, enough said. It would not be as much as I don't believe in the Bengals, this would be a ridiculous list if I didn't have them number 1. That's your top 5 Tuesday, top 5 AFC teams with a chance to make the postseason. That didn't do it last year.
I just look at their schedule and revisionist history. You look at their losses. 1-point loss to the Chiefs on the road. 5-point loss to the Commanders at home. 3-point loss in overtime to the Ravens. 1-point loss to the. I'm picking out cherry picking ones. I'm omitting the big losses they did have.
Lost to the Patriots.
But if they win half of those games,
by the Eagles,
which when you lose by 1 or 2 points, that kind of feels like a coin flip.
Yeah.
You win half those games, you're a playoff team, and you give the Ravens a much better fight than the Steelers did last postseason.
Right. If. And the Bengals, I think, for the next 10 years is going to be a big if team as they continue to get beat down by the real powers of the AFC.